Well, hello, Pauline.
Hi, Joey.
And hi out there. We're back here for Toots number 7.
7.
Number
wow.
7.
It's flying by.
It sure is.
And look what you've done. You've done some homework.
Yes, I have. And you told me last week that I graduated from preschool.
You have. You're a grade one now.
I'm a quilter now.
You are. You are. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm so impressed that you've made the second block.
Yes, I've got 2 now. That was my homework. How many gold stars do I get? Because you know I like them.
I'm going to give you 1.
1, okay.
One,
she's being a bit mean.
Because I'm not mean.
No.
You can't conquer the world in 5 minutes.
True, that's very true.
Maybe, as we advance on and you keep getting everything consistently really nice and you've got your points, I must really say that is fantastic. Your second block has turned out as perfect as the first.
Yes.
So good girl. So you ready for your next lesson?
Yes. What's the next step? Come on, let's do it.
More quilting. As we discussed in the last lesson, we need to advance you on now to quilting lovely, lovely designs.
Excellent.
Because, you know how to ditch stitch. You know how to echo. So what we've done here, and I love what you've chosen. You've chosen a printed fabric this time.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous? Look at those little birdhouses. It's so
They're
stunning.
just nice.
So you've been in my cupboard again, haven't you?
I have, and it really kind of pulls out the colours from here as well, I think.
I think you've done really well. And you've put the same on the back as what's on the back of these blocks. Yes. And that's gorgeous, isn't it? Isn't that lovely the way that's quilted up?
It just comes up so nice.
And let your quilting do the talking. And just by echoing it, it's really made that design stand out. So you've cut this out. That was your homework, to cut this out, and you've used the big square ruler.
The big square ruler.
And you've cut this to what we said, 13.5 inches, because we need it to be a bit bigger than those blocks, because you now appreciate that pulling in can happen when you quilt. So always allow. Out there, if you're doing this, always remember to allow a little bit more fabric to allow for pulling and squaring up at the end. So you've got your 3 layers ironed together, still using the Hobbs batting, which is great.
So we looked at that last time. We all know about how to do that. So
and you enjoyed using that?
The Hobbs batting is really good. It's great at the machine.
Oh, it's fabulous. And it just holds everything together nicely. So what we're going to do now is find the centre of the block. So we're going to come and line our ruler up at about 6 3/4 inches. So I'm looking down here, 6 3/4.
I think that you've got it wrong.
Have I?
That looks like 7 3/4 to me.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? So around the wrong way?
No, I think you got it the wrong way.
I had it the wrong. Well, good girl. Now I've lost the gold star. Yeah, good on you. Good on you for picking that up. And that's so easy to make those sort of mistakes. You want the dark.
We want the dark.
So here we go. 6 3/4. Checking me.
Yes.
6 3/4.
Here.
Yes, and put a mark. So that's the centre of the block.
That's the centre.
Yes. Okay, and that's why these rulers are really, really handy, because they can mark up anything for you. So now let's introduce you to the template we're going to use.
So we're going to use this?
Yes. That's the design we're going to trace it. What are you doing?
Bunny ears. Bunny ears.
Easter's over. Too late.
Oh, no.
Too late.
So this is really small. And
yeah, it is.
It's not the same size as our block.
No. But let's
wave our
magic.
Stick it in the middle?
No. Well, that wouldn't fill out enough. You could stick it in the middle and you could echo around it, keep going around and around, but it wouldn't look nice. But let me show you and talk to you a little bit about the template. Can I just grab the pen? Can we get the dark pencil? Thank you. So we've got little splits. That's where we're going to mark onto the fabric, and they're the lines that we will stitch. But notice we've got a little hole in the template here. That is our centre point. So what we're going to do...
Let's flip it over so that it's got our name on it.
So we're going to, because we've marked the centre point, we're going to put that hole on that little dot at the centre. And then we can trace that design. We rotate, trace, rotate, trace, rotate and trace.
See. It's
so
another jigsaw puzzle.
Yep. 4 quarters will make one whole design, which is really, really nice. But let me show you on this one. if we decided later on, which sometimes you do change your mind, you could use this template and place it on this centre of this basket, and you could trace that on there and quilt that.
Oh, that actually would be quite nice.
It would be very, very nice.
Especially if you've used it on other blocks, then it would be...
Tie it together. But you may not want to use these.
The bunny ears.
You might want to just do the outside edge, and you could use the bunny ears over here and fill in some spaces with that. So there's all sorts of things you can do with the templates. Like, don't lock yourself in.
The possibilities are endless.
Work outside that square. That's what I want you to do. Start imagining different things you could do. Now, to come back to use this, what we're going to do, we're going to use the dark lead. And once again, always I use and recommend the bowhin marking pencil. We need the lead out long enough so that it goes through the splits. We need to hold the pencil upright, because if we hold it on an angle, what will happen is the lead will hit the side of that split and it will cut the lead and it will break. So we just gently, you don't want to mark too dark, because I think you're going to use a nice cream thread to quilt this. You chose a nice shiny thread. And really, threads are a personal choice. I'm not one to recommend threads highly. I just like people to use the thread colour and the thread style that they like to use. So we're going to have a cream thread in the top of your machine and the mono poly thread in the bobbin, because we used the mono poly thread on that one.
We did.
So we're just going to go through and trace this design. Just remember where you're at, but if you miss some of the lines, you can always place the template back on and do it again. Fill in the lines that you've missed, but just run it through. It's very quick and easy to do. And I think I've got all of that design now on there.
You do.
So now I'll let you do this next one, and you can see that the circle, if you put the dot, the hole right on that middle dot, your circle will line up.
You can see how it's going to.
Okay. Do you want to move that over there a bit closer to you? And then if you trace the other 3 sections, we'll then go and set your machine up.
Very well.
Very easy, but not too heavy. Just light enough so you see the lines. But the pencil will wash out once you've made the quilt and washed it for the first time, which I really strongly recommend that people wash their quilts when they're finished, because we've handled them for a long time, and the grease and the oil from your fingers and the dust and the fluff that we create when we sew, the quilts really do need a nice wash when you're finished.
I think too, washing it, you were talking about the Hobbs batting last time, so washing the quilt will wash that tackiness out of the batting and leave you with that nice soft...
The fusible, it washes that out. There you go. Yep, good.
I think I've got it all.
Okay, and see how that's now lining up?
It's making a circle. See, now you can't... I couldn't see before what the end would be, but just seeing this come together, it's a flower.
It's
of
right.
Course, it's not a bunny ear.
I think you've had too many Easter eggs.
Maybe.
That's it, perfect. So we just continue going through. And like talking about washing your quilts, I like to wash my quilts in the washing machine. I have a front loader. I just go on a very gentle cycle with a very gentle detergent. I don't use anything too harsh. Put them on a gentle cycle. I put them out on the clothesline with the quilt upside down over a couple of rungs of the clothesline, and let the breeze blow through them. And when they're just about dry, I bring them in and lay them out flat somewhere. And they wash up beautifully.
So why do you do that? Is there a particular reason?
Why do I wash them?
Why you bring them in when they're nearly dry?
Yeah, well, I just find if I leave them out there till they're completely dry, they can have that wrinkled effect, that too dried out effect. You know how some things you just...
So you're getting it out of the sun, really?
Yeah, getting it out of the sun. and just let them air over the back of the chair, or if they're not too damp, lay them out on the bed, put them over an air dryer, anything like that, just to let the air get through them to complete the drying process.
Out of the sunshine.
And they feel so lovely and cuddly and warm, and there's nothing nicer than sleeping under a handmade quilt. I just love it.
Especially when we're getting into these colder.
Yes.
There we go.
Any? There you have your beautiful, beautiful design.
Can we see that it's a flower now?
Well, I can see that.
Beautiful.
And, you know, once it's quilted, it may look a little bit not as if it's going to quilt up nicely, but I feel once we quilt this, the pattern on the fabric will become the second image. The quilting design will come up to the forefront. So now when we do this, we have to think about how we're going to quilt it. So it will be that you'll need to quilt this circle first. You'll have to stop and start like we taught you last time. Now with this circle, you could start here and do one of your bunny ears. You could come over, do another bunny ear, come around the circle and come up around the design. Come around the circle into the next bunny ear, the next one. Come around, and then you can go around that circle again. Stitching over one row of stitching, a lot of the purists don't like it. But I think as a beginner we need to get the thing completed. We need it to be neat. If you choose not to go over that line of stitching, you would stop here, end your threads off like we showed you, and you would start again. It's a personal choice. But you see now where we've got the little gaps.
Yes.
Now, they're the gaps that are in the template.
Yes.
They have to be there. If you can't see that properly, you can come in and fill in so that you've got that line to stitch on.
So you don't get lost.
Yes.
See, I think I would like to do that. I feel
Okay.
like that's a good thing to do.
Okay, just fill all of those in, and it only takes a split second. Not long at all, and then you've got a direct line. And as a beginner, there's nothing wrong with doing this, but we're not free motion quilting, Joey, and we haven't introduced you to that yet. We're just actually going to sew on a line. We're going to quilt on a line. So feed dogs are up, our open toe foot's on, we have the titanium top stitch needle in, we have a lovely cream thread in the top, and we have mono poly thread in the bobbin. You're going to set your machine stitch length to 3. You're going to draw the thread up like you did when you started quilting your other blocks.
It's basically the same procedure
Exactly.
as what we've been doing.
Exactly. You'll have the sew slip mat on the bed of the machine so you can manoeuvre this block. Now, this quilting way that I do it, I call it the ABC of quilting. It's just so easy. Anybody can be a beautiful quilter if you've got a nice set of templates and you're prepared to draw the design on, stitch on the line, and then join your quilts together, quilt as you go. So easy.
So, are we ready to go to the machine?
Let's go straight over to that sewing machine and get you started.
Ready, go.
So you've got it all threaded up. Good, you've got your machine set up beautifully.
I do, yes. So I've got the right stitch length on 3 and needles right in the middle with the open toe foot there. So I'm just going to pop the foot down and get myself lined up nicely.
That's it. And you're holding your top thread, which is great. Needle up, needle down. That's it.
There it is.
Grab your bobbin thread with your awl. Don't you love the awl?
The awl is great.
Yeah, because that bobbin thread, you know, the invisible thread, is hard to see.
It's very hard to see.
But it is just a beautiful thread.
So everything's through. There we go.
So remember the start and stop. You remember how to do that?
I do, but I'm just going to...
Do you just want to go over how you're going to start?
I wasn't quite on the line, so...
Okay.
We'll just...
Start again.
Well, we'll start again. Just want to make sure that I've got it lined up very well.
So, and you're going to now do?
I'm going to hold it and do 2 stitches.
Yes.
Let it go for 2 stitches. I'm going to hold it and do another 2 stitches and then I'll be on my way.
Exactly right. So I'll just watch you get started, then I'm going to go off and do some more work.
So I'm not going to let it move. Do the 2 stitches, then allow it to go. Oop, that was 3 stitches.
So this is where you'll have to... So see this hand here? If you hold your fabric down here and drive with your hand from there, you'll find it... So, and this hand too. So now you're going to be able to pivot that as you go a lot easier than having your hands up here close.
I hope you are correct.
I think I will be.
This is a circle.
See now how you can manoeuvre that around a lot easier? Because when your hands are up there close to that foot, you're restricting the feed dogs from moving through as well.
Pauline, so that's amazing. That's just...
Yeah. I always say, drive from the front. You don't have to have your hands tight around there. So now you're going to stop the way you started, so you know how to do that.
Bring those threads out of my way there.
Yes. It's very good.
I think I'll... And so I'm just going to hold it so it doesn't move.
Yes.
Give it a couple of...
Stitches.
These out of the way. A couple of stitches. And then hold it again.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect.
And then...
Cut your top and bobbin thread. Pull it away from there. That's it. That's perfect, Joey. And it's very simple to quilt this way. And I think if everybody gives it a try, you know, whether you're a quilter who was challenged with free motion quilting or if you're a new quilter, give this a way that we quilt a go and you'll find it very, very easy.
That is so easy.
Okay, so I would cut this thread off now because that's going to get caught up. And now you can start doing your little bunny ears, as you call them. That would be ever bunny ears
They
now.
will be, indeed. So it's going to be a similar thing again because I'm starting again.
Yes.
So I'm going to
And I'm just going to leave you with it, Joey, while I go and get some more preparation work done.
Sounds great.
So just call out to me if you need any help, and if not, I'll see you when you get the whole design
I will.
quilted up. So, and I hope everybody enjoys watching what you're doing and hope they're all having great fun learning with you. That's it. Bobbin threads up.
There we go.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, I'm leaving you to it.
Okay.
All right.
I'll sing out.
So I'm hearing that machine going very slow. I think I'm going to come and give you another couple of tips.
I sped up.
You have sped up. When we come around the next bunny ear, I want to show you. So keep stitching and we'll come around the next bunny ear. So you're going back over a row of stitching, which is fine. Okay, so now we're ready to start doing the next one. So now what I'd like you to do, as we did before, let's roll this up and let's drive from the front because you need this hand down here.
Can we have a pin for this?
Yeah, you could pin it, but I don't think you'll need it.
It's just not going to stay.
Just hold it up. Put your hand here. That's it. Now, the tighter that is around there, it's going to be easier for you to direct it around those curves. So you can speed up a bit. That's it. That's good.
Oh.
Slow down on the corners.
It's like teaching me how to drive, isn't it?
Well, it is. It's like learning to drive. But I think if you held it back here, You know, even over this side here, instead of with that hand, but right over there, keep it close up here. No, this hand over here.
Over here?
Over here. Because now you've got more directional flow. When your hands are too far apart, it's going to make it go off skew. Good. Now we'll go over to the next one.
So we're going to come up and around here now.
That's good. Now bring your hand over here and you'll find it easier to drive. That's it. Now drive with your left hand more so than your right hand. Yep, okay, that's it.
So I'm running out of, what do you do when you run out?
Right, you're going to fold this up and bring it right around here. Condense it around, okay? Make it a small little unit.
Your tips do make it so much easier.
Well, you'll get more and more used to it as you go. That's it. But having it in a smaller unit, the smaller you can get it down. And if you pop pins in it, you'd always be unpinning it.
You would.
So just keep coming around. So you're on a roll now.
Okay.
So just keep it going like that and you'll be great. I'm going back to my preparation work now.
Lovely. Pauline, I'm finished.
Oh, good girl, good girl. How'd you go?
I think I did
nice
quite well.
work. Nice work.
So I'm just going to take it out now and snip the stitches.
That's very good. So let's have a look. Wow, that's fantastic.
I want to see what it looks like on the other side.
Okay, you can do that.
Can we see?
Look at that. Wow.
That's beautiful.
That looks fantastic. Look at that for a beginner quilter. Oh, I think you've earned a gold star.
Oh, gold star. I wonder how many I'm up to.
You'll have to wait and see. We are keeping a tally. But that's beautiful, Joey. Really nice stitching. And, you know, you don't have to worry about the stitch length when you quilt like this because your machine is doing every stitch for you. So different to free motioning. And it's very good. And, like, even if you've ran off, which I noticed around here a couple of times that you've gone a bit wobbly, that is perfectly fine because when we wash this pencil mark will wash out and it'll look absolutely fantastic.
It's
so well
stunning.
done. So that's your next lesson finished.
Woohoo!
So now it's going to get very exciting for lesson 8. Toots on Tuesday.
Yes.
Lesson 8.
What's lesson 8 going to be?
I'm going to teach you applique.
Oh, I've been
Applique.
wondering when we would do some applique.
And we're going to cover different, you know, we'll do a few lessons in applique because we want to show them different. I want to show you, plus everybody that's learning along with you, how to do different styles of applique. You know, we have sketchy applique, which is raw edge applique. We have blanket stitch applique. We have satin stitch applique. There are so many different ways we can do applique. So we'll do a few lessons on applique and then we'll get joining this quilt together. Quilt As You Go.
So next time we're going to become okay with applique.
Okay with applique, that's exactly right. But I'll be giving you some preparation work to do in the meantime, which will be quilting up some more blocks because we're going to quilt the blocks before we actually do the applique. I find it so much easier to quilt the block first, because a lot of people applique and then try and quilt nice designs around the applique, which can get quite tricky. So I'm going to give you homework with some different designs to quilt. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh, I'm ready.
Good. So until we see you next time, bye from both Joey and I. Bye.